Welcome back to the Movie Draft Podcast. I'm Ethan Simi, and today I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, Ben Lawhorn.
Hello.
And two incredible guests. First up, the king of guests himself, Kevin Mikos.
Hello, hello.
And our first-time guest, Matt Neglia.
Hello, everyone.
And today we are drafting movies from 2006 in a regular style draft. Matt, I'll start with you. This is your first time not only coming on the Movie Draft Podcast, but you mentioned quickly before we hit record, which was probably a strategy play on your end, but I'm going to out you here, that this is your first time doing a movie draft in general. You know, they say you always remember your first. I'm proud to be your first. Are you excited to be here?
I'm very excited. I mean, I know you guys have been having a lot of fun with this. I've done award season drafts and various types of drafts in the past, but I'm not like a fantasy football draft kind of guy. I don't really like do these on the regular. Hell, we don't even do them over at Next Best Picture. But that's why I reserve them for moments like this to get it out of my system and have a bit of fun in the process. So I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, you know, the Movie Draft Thunderdome, as it has been so eloquently called as of late. Kevin, you're the king of guests. You're back again, even though I'm pretty sure I banned you a few episodes ago, but that's okay. You're here. You won the Oscar-nominated screenplays draft. That's just something that happened. I don't want to sit on that too long, but I felt like I had to mention it at least.
We don't have to. I have plenty of wins in the future that you can talk about. Before we started recording, I was telling you that I'm so locked in that I'm postponing tonight's episode of The Pit. So that's just to illustrate how serious I am. I feel like I'm reaching. I don't want to tread on my dear pal Sophie, but I feel I was listening to your most recent episode as of this recording today. And I was like, I feel like I'm getting pretty close to third chair status here. I feel like I'm getting up to enough appearances to steal her spot.
Watch out, Sophie.
Yeah, those are fighting words, honestly.
Yeah.
That's big Sierra energy. You mentioned being serious about this draft, and I will say, you did text me earlier, and you just said I'm not going to reveal any of my preparedness. I'm locked in. I wish you luck. So I'm a little nervous about your energy in particular, Kevin. So we will see how this all shakes out. Ben, what's up? Back again.
Hello. Here we are once again. I'm excited about this draft. I was a little maybe apprehensive when it first came up. I was like, man, was 2006 like is that worth drafting? But after making my list, I'm like, this was a solid year. This was a good year for sure.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. You know, I think 2006 probably one of the I don't know if like B tier is the right way to put it, because there are some very important movies for 2006, but definitely not like, not a 2010, not a 2012 or anything that like might be really kind of riveting when you look at the graphic and say, this is the year that we are drafting. But, that does beg the question, was 2006 a good year for movies? Matt, I'll ask you that question. What's your take? Good year for movies or not?
You can't ask me this because in 2006, I got my first W-2 job at an AMC movie theater. And so I was watching movies for free. And I was working during the time when The Departed, The Prestige, and a bunch of other films were playing. And so I was living during this time. And this was also like, I'm 16 years old. I have all the time in the world on my hands to do nothing but watch movies. So this is a very nostalgic time in my life where I was I don't know. It's hard to say if I'm more movie obsessed now, given that it's my job, or if I was more movie obsessed then. I don't really know the answer, to tell you the truth, but definitely fond memories because that was such an influential time.
Yeah. It sounds like you might have a leg up on maybe all of us, at least me, because in 2006 I was 12 and I was in fact not working at an AMC. I was probably watching the VHS of Titanic again that I mention here quite often on the pod. Kevin, what about you? Were you working at AMC? What I know you have worked in a movie theater, but what's the history here? What's 2006?
I have not worked in a movie theater actually.
Really?
Have I said that publicly?
Maybe I'm just trying to do a little strategy. Maybe I'm trying to dupe you on the spot.
No, I could one up you. I was even younger than 12 in 2006, but I will say I feel a lot of the same sentiment because these like 2000s years are kind of perfectly nostalgic for me because it's a mix of movies that I have now in my adult years appreciated watching them as an adult, and then also like this is where all the kids movies that I grew up on
Mm-hmm.
came out, obviously. So I'm like, I feel, for the rest of my life, I probably won't watch as many kids movies as I was watching in 2006. So it's like a nice mix of my childhood and movies that I appreciate now as an adult.
Yeah, I am. As we're speaking, I'm scrolling through the list of American movies for 2006 on Wikipedia, and like January, February, kind of like really core to my young days, my young childhood that I'm noticing. And it is pretty impressive. Um, Kevin, is that you? Are you trying to pit us
That's
out right
not
now?
me. That's not me.
No, I can definitely tell you for a fact it is the streets of New York City.
I'm a little bit
It's
too
okay.
far from the city for those sirens to reach me. I've got a couple. If I was a couple miles closer,
No matter what I do, no matter how hard I try to soundproof this goddamn window, they
Can't be
always
done.
find a way to get through. So
Yeah.
Well,
they're right there outside the street. What can
Right.
I do?
Yeah.
you know, you and Sophie alike try to play the ambulance card. I respect it. Ben, 2006. Who were you in 2006, and is it a good year for movies? I know you said it was.
I think I was the oldest person here. Well, I guess I still am, but I definitely was in 2006 as well. So I missed out on, I don't know if I missed out, but like these kids movies like Cars and Happy Feet and stuff like that. Like I didn't see those in theaters. I didn't see those for a very long time. I still haven't actually seen Happy Feet. So I won't be drafting that. I don't want to give too much away, but you guys feel free to take Happy Feet.
this changes everything.
I know
Yeah, that's
it's
a big
gonna
one.
change your strategy, but yeah, I don't know. How old was I? 23, I guess, and just got a job out at the airport. So I was kind of just like traveling and just being a bum, basically. So going to movies
Sick.
when I could. But yeah, I don't know. This was a solid year. But you know what I was doing at this time too to make extra money is like medical studies. I don't know if you guys have ever done that or anything, but like you take
Yeah.
drugs and they like test you for a week. And so we would like buy the DVDs and stuff of Borat. And I remember like Talladega Nights and stuff like that. And we would watch it in these clinics because you couldn't leave for like a week. You were just like stuck in this clinic. And so we would bring in our Xbox and a bunch of DVDs. So that's where I watched a lot of these movies for the first time was in some like hospital bed doing a medical study. Yeah.
That is an intense connection to the year 2006.
It really is.
I do not have such a visceral connection. Like I said, I was 12. So I think that I saw a lot of these movies probably like when they came to DVD. And I was, just enjoying the ample and Miami Vice as a 12-year-old probably. So, the best of both worlds. A really interesting year for movies for sure, going through this slate here. They don't really make these kinds of movies anymore. I feel like a year. But we'll see how this draft shakes out. We'll see what we will end up drafting. I have movies that I want, and I am prepared to get them at all costs. Just to let you guys know, for strategy wise, I just downed a triple espresso, and I watched the first 2.5 minutes of Mission Impossible 3. So I'm fucking jacked right now. I am in the prime time headspace. Day of recording, I did get my new TV, and I don't want to say that it put me in the right zone, but I watched Top Gun Maverick on an 85-inch TV for about 15 minutes earlier as well. So I feel like I'm close to seeing the draft gods, and I want to keep this energy alive. Strategies going into the draft. Anybody rewatch anything? Anybody first time watch something? Ben, I know you mentioned you were watching some stuff for this draft.
Yeah, I just did a bunch of rewatches. I didn't watch anything for the first time, but
okay.
A certain car racing franchise that went overseas. Yeah, I don't know. I watched a few, like maybe one of the funnier movies of the year. Just stuff I hadn't seen in a long time. I just wanted to revisit them. So
sure.
Did a handful of those.
You're a big beer fest guy. I feel like that's right in your wheelhouse. Yeah, probably rewatched that 6 times.
Yeah, that's it.
Kevin, what about you? Can you enlighten me to your preparations now that we're on the pod?
I've been getting prepared for months ahead of time. No, I watched.
Mhm.
I did do a number of first time watches. I mostly just wanted to have a deeper bag. Like
Mm,
I was almost entirely watching
Mhm.
movies that I don't think will end up getting drafted, but I wanted to have them there
nice.
anyway. I was also
Okay.
paying attention very closely to a lot of people's letterboxd so that I knew in which direction I might have to. Specifically, Ben.
Okay.
I saw Ben
Mm.
log something, and I was like, "This is informing me
I
as to
gotta
where
lock
I
that
might."
away. Yeah.
Yeah. This is
So
big
that
because
steered me.
that would make essentially 2 episodes of recent episodes in which Ben has logged movies before we've drafted them, and that's a change of style. That's a change of
Yeah.
pace.
It's a
Which
There's
confident style, I think. I
it
think it's
is.
like you know
Yeah.
that you're gonna win no matter what, and you don't really care if people see what you're watching.
just gonna lay it out there. Yeah. I'm Dirk
Yeah.
Diggler at the end of Boogie Nights, just throwing it out. What it is.
Yeah. You
I'm the
know,
star.
I wish that helped us in the Timothy Chalamet draft. You know, I wish we put some more
Yeah.
respect on the king. I'll just say that.
True.
Matt, any strategies going into this draft? You watch anything for the first time? Rewatch anything?
I have seen every movie from this year that you possibly could imagine. I have
Oh,
such
shoot.
vivid memories of this year because, like I said, this was during a time in my life where I used to rewatch stuff like constantly. Like I
Mhm.
saw Departed in the theater 5 times, you know, like and I'm saying something like that because there's other obscure, maybe not as well known films from this time too that I also have seen like 15 times, and so I didn't need to do so much prep, so much. I like it's
Mhm.
very ingrained in me,
Mhm.
you know.
Sure. Again, a move of confidence, it appears.
I like it.
I'm trying not to be cocky here. All right, you know, I might get my ass handed to me over here. So
Okay, well, I did watch one movie for the first time going into this draft. There were a
oh,
handful of, I feel like, important movies, and we'll see if they end up being important to this draft, that I have not seen. I did not get the chance to see. Quite honestly, because I was going so hard for the Chalamet collaborative draft that I filled up all my time watching Chalamet movies. And so I didn't really get to partake in the 2006 preparations. That's on me. You know, I run the spreadsheet. I know that, you know, I've done this to myself here, but I get a little bit of a hit when, you know, maybe I'm not as prepared as I should be. So we will see how this shakes out for me against all of you guys, I guess, is generally how I view these kinds of drafts, even though it is every man for themselves. We all agree that there's like a first overall pick, right? Like we're all
Correct.
clued into this.
Yeah, Da Vinci Code.
Oh yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, well, I was gonna say flushed away, but it's, you know,
Oh, yeah.
apples and oranges.
Either
We're
way.
all in the same boat. Okay, so let's just draft because the more that I vamp, the more that I talk, the more nervous that I get. I'm realizing some of my categories are like pretty slim now that Matt, you've mentioned you've seen pretty much everything. So I'm not feeling 100% confident. I'm not feeling great. So we might as well just draft and see what happens. So in order to be eligible for this draft, a film must have released in the United States outside of a festival in the year 2006. We're going to be using Letterboxd to check in on this. That is how we will note. We've had some controversy. Ben, you plan to bring any controversy to this one, or are you going to hold out?
Fingers crossed. Let's hope.
We'll see what happens. So we are going to be trying to stick to that as best as we can. This is a regular style draft, meaning we are going to be drafting each teams of 6 in 6 specific categories. And the categories are drama, comedy, action horror, Oscar nom, box office of $100 million or more domestically, and of course the wild card category. You guys feeling okay? Feeling good about the categories? You feeling ready to kind of fill out your teams here?
yeah, I think so.
Let's do it.
Okay. Wow. Sounds great. I'm petrified, quite honestly. The espresso's running deep right now through the veins. Okay, Ben, would you pull up the spinner for us and we shall spin? I would like the first overall pick, you know. I think that'd be nice.
Yeah,
Same.
I think everyone would.
However, I did have that a few weeks ago and I bungled it. So I kind of want redemption, you know. I kind of want back on the seat.
Well, let's see
Oh
who
my
gets
God.
it.
Well, it's not
Who's
ideal.
it gonna be?
Not ideal all the way around.
All right.
Okay. You sure that you cleared cookies and everything, Ben, before you ran that on your computer?
Da Vinci Code. Lock it down. Write it down for me.
Oh no. No. Okay. This is
Here we
great.
go.
I'm gonna start teasing the fact that you should be following us on YouTube and watching the videos.
Yes.
I'm not gonna say.
Nice.
Dang it. Okay. All right. Well, this is happening, and this is where things lie. Ben, you will be drafter number A, or letter A. Kevin, you're gonna be B. Matt, you're gonna be drafter C. I'm gonna be drafter D at the turn. This is a snake style draft, so it'll go A, B, C, D, D, C, B, A, and so forth until we fill out 6 rounds of teams here. You can draft any category in any order that you want. I just started typing names, and I put my name first for the first drafter. I guess my brain is really wanting that first round pick. Tough. Just want it so bad. Okay, let's draft, guys. Let's draft the 2006 movie draft here on the pod. Ben,
Yes.
should I just type Da Vinci Code in the doc now?
Yeah.
Do you
lock it in.
want to talk about it first? Where are we at?
Just throw it in there. Yeah, I'm trying to think of actually like where to put this pick. Obviously, I'm going to be going with The Departed. And there's some good movies like in the box office. Like usually that's the thinnest one, but it's also a good year for the Academy Awards. So, man, I don't know. Let's just
real first round overall pick, honestly. Just be like, oh, where should I put the best movie of the year? I don't know.
let's just put it, in Oscars because best picture winner.
Right.
It just makes sense. Let's throw it there. What is there to say about The Departed? I don't know. It's just like fantastic, amazing movie. One of my favorite line deliveries of all time. Maybe not. Maybe fuck yourself. Like I love that so much. The best thing. Well, I'm gonna refrain from saying it's the best thing Wahlberg's done, but it's really good. Yeah, I don't know. It's Scorsese. I really don't know what to say about The Departed that people don't know about The Departed. It just felt like the obvious number one pick to take.
I think it's honestly a little horseshit that the last couple of drafts you've stolen Scorsese pictures from me specifically. So
It's interesting.
you didn't even like
really
the
thought you were
last
about
one.
to say
You didn't
The
even
Departed
watch
was
that.
horseshit.
Oh yeah, The Departed was horseshit.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, man.
The Departed, kind of horseshit.
Kind of horseshit.
Yeah. Where are we at on that? Yeah. No, I just think first The Irishman, now this. That's not cool, Ben. The
Irishman.
cavern in our friendship grows every day.
Good movie. Yeah.
It is a good
The
movie.
Irishman, good movie.
Also,
that's so
Ethan,
annoying.
did you not have the opportunity to draft The Irishman? And then you
Okay,
went
Kevin.
in a different direction?
That's not something a kind third chair would say. I just wanted. If you are fighting for the third chair, you're saying the wrong things.
Okay.
That's
Well,
hurtful.
I've
That's
already
hurtful.
been banned once. so.
Can't get banned.
I know I messed up on the platform originals draft. I know it. I wanted to make Sophie mad, and she's an impenetrable force. What can I say? Okay,
Yeah.
So The Departed in Oscar nom. I think that was, of course, the unanimous first pick here of the draft. Kevin,
Yeah.
you're next.
Though, what I will say, and I feel like second pick is the worst because if I wasn't going to get The Departed first, I might as well just wait to get 2 great movies at 4 and 5. Like I'm in a bad spot here, but Ben did do me the favor of taking The Departed and Oscar nom. My strategy was to draft it first overall in box office because I think that category is pretty thin. And since he took The Departed, I'm just going to make it thinner, and I'm going to take Casino Royale in the box office category.
Nice.
Which I think is like easily the runner up to The Departed here.
Interesting spot to draft this movie, I feel.
You think so?
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm playing it as a sort of a categories advantage game, and if I can't get the people's vote for The Departed, I still want the people to look at the box office category and be happy with my team,
Yeah.
And I feel like Casino Royale does that. So
I see. A categories man, if you will. Okay.
sure, yeah. I mean, there's only one other category that I think is kind of as weak as this, and I have plans for that category. So
Can't risk it. Matt, where are you at on Casino Royale? Pro?
Very pro. Probably my favorite James Bond film of all time.
Nice.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
see, That's a great endorsement right there for my second overall
that
pick.
is pretty good. That's pretty good. Maybe it's just been too long since I've seen Casino Royale. Is this the one where he goes into the car and he
Mads
gets
Mikkelsen.
poisoned?
Yes.
Sick. Okay, cool.
And then he
Good
gets
choice.
his balls tortured.
Yeah,
When I was a
Movie's
kid
tight.
and Casino Royale would play on my TV, I had a staircase down to my basement, and then we had like a movie theater in my basement where you could see the screen from the staircase. And so my parents would be watching Casino Royale, and I would sneak down and try to watch that torture scene through the staircase, and they would yell at me because they didn't want me to see it as a little kid.
That's hilarious.
Wow,
And like
the Kevin Sicko origin story comes to light.
Yeah, here
Yeah.
it is. This was our intro, right, to Daniel Craig.
I think so.
As Bond, like this was his first outing, which was fantastic, following up Pierce Brosnan. So we got like a new take on Bond. This was definitely my intro to Mads Mikkelsen, who was just like amazing. He's so good. So this was definitely up there in a first round selection. So I think this is a great pick.
Thank you.
Yeah, you could have done better, Kevin, but someone's got to knock you down.
We'll see.
A peg.
There's a pick I might make that you might not like, Ethan. So let's
Not everything can be Marriage Story, right, Ethan?
Okay, guys, let's relax. Marriage Story is a great movie. Okay, okay, Matt, you have a draft pick.
And just to be clear, I can choose any category for this film, basically, as long as it obviously does apply.
As long as it applies, then yes, you are good to go.
All right. I guess I should strategize this in my brain for just a quick second because I need to have an idea of what I would choose for the others. So, okay, got it. All right. So, what is wild card? Is my only question.
Just any movie.
Wild card, any movie you want. Doesn't have to fit into a box. It could be any movie that's been released in 2006.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's like a free slot.
Some would say you should take wild card first. It's been proven here on the show that it's really beneficial.
I was about to say that
helpful.
sounds like that really does sound like a trick.
That's a horrible idea.
Yeah, I'm not falling for that. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go with my drama pick.
Oh.
And I'm going to choose Children of Men.
Damn,
that's a good choice.
So close. I was so close.
That's my favorite movie in this entire draft. I didn't take it because of the box office category, but Children of Men is probably my favorite movie here.
Yeah, I rewatched it during the pandemic, and like it just unbelievable. It's a complete and utter masterpiece of world building, cinematography, storytelling, as far as just every element in a filmmaker's toolbox being utilized. I mean, Clive Owen's best performance maybe in anything ever.
For sure.
He's also
too like a
in
fun
another movie
who's who of like supporting performances, like people just showing up left and right, and you're like, that guy, that person's in this. Oh wow, like Charlie Hunnam, hello,
And to like follow up what I think is the best Harry Potter movie with Children of Men, after doing Mama Tambien, like your own, just like he was in his bag. I think with this movie, some of those wonders are just like they still hold up. They're still fantastic. Like in the car, that scene. I started rewatching this today. I wasn't able to finish it, unfortunately, but even just that opening sequence at the coffee shop, like it's such fantastic filmmaking. And like you said, I agree. I think this is Clive Owen's best, like hands down.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I mean, I'm looking, like you mentioned, Matt, I'm looking at the cast list here. It's kind of unreal who ends up showing up as you go on in this film. Obviously, a pretty highly influential film, I feel like, for kind of this subgenre here in this movie style. So that's pretty exciting. Okay, Children of Men and drama. That was, of course, going to be my pick. I feel
who doesn't want to buy weed from Michael Caine? Really, I mean, that's a dream. It's a dream.
While he air guitars.
Yeah, exactly. That's all we need.
So sick. Okay, let's see. I mean, we're not even one round done. I'm getting a little antsy on some of these categories that things might not pan the way that.
Do you need us to vamp already?
Never. I should never vamp. As Sophie's mom so eloquently put it, I do not take my time. I am never confident. Okay, let's see here. So in drama, do you want to take that in drama, guys? Should I? What's your guys' weakest category, you think, on your personal short lists?
It's already been drafted. Nice try, though.
Oh,
I was gonna
interesting.
say,
Box
I
office,
think,
really?
I think box office is going to hurt me. So
Yeah,
like,
I feel
I'm-
like statistically it's the
Mm.
least
It's
amount
the
right
category with
there
the
are
few
some
possible
sneaks
options.
in there. Like
Yeah.
the fact that you guys have that set for 100 million
Mhm.
domestic and not 200 million definitely helps.
Yes.
But
Yep.
Man, we'd be
yeah.
fighting if it was 200.
Oh,
Oh man.
yeah. That's where you would actually draft the Da Vinci Code, Ben. That's
Yeah,
your
it
time.
might be,
time to
honestly.
shine.
give me Tom Hanks.
Oh, you guys bring up an interesting quandary here. Shoot, yeah, that's not looking ideal. Not looking ideal. Now that Casino Royale is gone, Kevin, I'm starting to really understand what you're doing here. You're doing
Listen,
good
I
business.
told you I'm a guy with a plan. You know.
Good business. Okay, in where are we gonna take this? Hold on. I promise I'm gonna make a pick. Okay, in Oscar nom,
Ooh.
I'm gonna be taking. No. In drama, I'm gonna be taking The Prestige.
okay.
Thought about taking it an Oscar nom. I think both categories are a little odd, so we might as well take it in The Prestige. Or in drama.
I had
of
the
course.
same dilemma. Ethan.
Yeah, it's kind of a tough toss up here. I thought that it could swing well either way, but I guess we'll see how this one pans out for me. Christopher Nolan film, of course. You know, there's a large hive out there for The Prestige, and they go to bat for The Prestige being maybe the best Christopher Nolan. I wouldn't say so, but boy, it's a good movie. It's
Hell yeah.
pretty awesome, and apparently. Didn't Christian Bale learn magic? And then people just thought it was CGI'd, right? That's kind of how that went. So that's fun.
It's pretty solid.
Okay. You guys all like The Prestige?
Love it.
Yeah.
I like it
It's
enough.
a fantastic
Yeah.
movie.
I remember when he did Tenet, and I remember thinking to myself, I need him to go back and make something like Memento, like The Prestige.
Yeah.
I need him to scale back at this point because I thought Tenet was just pushing it too far in terms of like not in terms of scale, but like his ambition was getting the better of him. I thought with that screenplay.
Sure.
Turns out Tenet actually holds up really well under rewatches.
Yes, it does.
As all of his movies do. And then like with Oppenheimer, it was like, yeah, we are going to scale it back. We're just going to scale it back in the biggest way possible. You know, like.
Oh my God.
What if I told you that The Prestige has a higher letterboxd average than Oppenheimer? That blew my mind for a second. That's crazy.
Would not
That's
surprise me at all.
Well, you know
Prestige
what?
at a 4.3, Oppie at a 4.2.
You know what it is? Best picture winners take on a higher level of scrutiny.
This is true.
So, yeah, that's what
makes
I would
sense.
attribute that to.
Yeah.
The curse of the best picture win. I feel like we should keep talking about The Prestige. Kevin, your favorite movie of this year?
I didn't say I don't like the movie. I said that I like it enough. I don't like it enough to draft it in the first round, but
Okay.
it has happened nonetheless. So
I remember working at the movie theater when this came out, and I will never forget so many people walking out. And during Hugh Jackman's like final monologue, where he's like heavy breathing and telling something very profound to Christian Bale about magic and everything, people were like, I could not understand a single word that Hugh Jackman was saying during that sequence. And to tell you the truth, I couldn't figure it out either until I got the DVD and watched the subtitles. I'll just never forget. Like, to me, that was the original Nolan mixing issue.
Yeah.
Never beating the allegations that he doesn't know how to mix.
But man, the twists and turns in that movie, though, so sick.
Yeah.
Really good. Really good. Okay. And man, Mission Impossible 3 is looking real enticing for me. Is that a good movie though? You know, like in the grand scheme of how good Mission Impossible is, MI3 is kind of the bottom of the barrel.
I feel like you like it a lot, though. No?
I don't understand
I do.
why Mission Impossible 3 gets a lot of hate. Honestly, I really don't.
I love it, but is it too early to make a pick? For personal preference is what
I have
asking.
3 words for you: Philip Seymour Hoffman.
You're telling me. I'm always spitting the good word, and I just want to put people on to the truth of my feelings about Mission Impossible. Ben got me addicted. So Ben is my supplier, and he continues to help me in my addiction, and I'm stoked for the new one. But like, do I take this now? I don't know. I'm having a tough go.
Like, I don't want to talk about it glowingly because I don't want you to take it. But obviously, I love this movie.
You see what he's doing? He's tricking all of us into talking highly.
I'm not. I'm just trying to.
So you'll never regret stealing a pick from somebody, though.
But did you hear how he's like, how he's stealthily like, I don't really know if Mission Impossible is really that great. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I'm just real up in the air about 2 movies here, but Kevin, you've got me really nervous about the box office thing. You guys were like really trying to hammer that home that category
something
is
you should be nervous about. Because they could also get drafted in other categories, you know?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could. Oh, fuck. You're right. Huh. This is not ideal. Where's the movie that I really want? Only made just barely cracked 50 million. That's a tough beat for that movie. Okay. Yeah, I would feel more comfortable with this. I can manage otherwise. And box office, I will be taking Mission Impossible 3. I think that's the safe play here for myself. I think I've got to get that box office category locked up.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Ben, you want to talk about it?
I mean, the bathroom scene, dude. Like, Philip Seymour Hoffman just fucking owns so much in this movie. But that one where he's having to act as Ethan Hunt is playing him, like, is so good. The mannerisms, like, it's Philip Seymour Hoffman. Can't go wrong. And I love this movie, obviously. Like, this is fantastic. That opening sequence, the countdown, like, it's fantastic. It's amazing.
It's pretty good. Like I was saying, I rewatched the first like 2.5 minutes before we started drafting, and Ben, you and I were just trading quotes back and forth. It's pretty sublime stuff.
And directorial debut, right? For J.J. Abrams. Was this his
I believe so.
Debut? Yeah.
I believe so.
A pretty solid debut.
Yeah. It's pretty good stuff. I think in terms of voting and draft strategy, the Mission Impossible, the fever is growing. We're getting hotter by the day because we're getting closer to the final reckoning. So I feel like this is a pretty good pickup here. It's way earlier than I would have suspected that I would draft this, but we have the curse of the turnaround. I got to wait 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more picks before I get another movie. That's terrible.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Okay. Matt, you're back up.
I am. And you guys are making this like really tricky because I thought we were going in a certain order of the categories. So or if somebody started with a category, I thought then we would all have to go in for that category. I didn't know that I was going to be able to go anywhere. So this kind of like did ruin my strategy a little bit, but at the same time, it's like a little bit more freeing. But I think that's like, when you're trying to choose like between so many streaming options, it's like, what do I do?
Yeah.
So I have like a number of things in my mind where I'm like, I could do this. Oh, but that might fit here. Somebody's going to snatch that later. Do I have something else in my back pocket for this then? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just go with the film that I want to choose, that I am so proud to have in my lineup. And then it's just a question of, all right, well, where does it then fit in this list that you have put together here? So for me, I'm going to go with, because I already chose drama. Yeah, I'm going to go with Oscar nom for this one. And I'm going to go with Guillermo del Toro's Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah.
It's really good.
This is the only movie that I watched for the very first time in preparation for this draft.
This movie is unfucking believable. I remember watching it for the first time that year with my sister, and we were stunned by it because it was like combining the brutality of something like a Schindler's List with horror and with fantasy in a way that just like felt so fresh and unique, and just really opened up our eyes to like the beauty of not just what's, cinema in general, but then also too, like, we were, like I said, I was 16 years old. My sister was 14 when she watched this with me. Like, we were not really into international cinema, but I can definitely say like this was a great entry point for us at this stage, because I think we had seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon years before, and maybe some other international films, but I can tell you like this was the film that fully got me interested in exploring other international films, not by chance, but actually like actively seeking them out. Because I was just then very captivated by this time in history and understanding, it from that standpoint as well. So, and Guillermo is just such a master storyteller in all aspects. I mean, just cinematography, art direction, the makeup, the score, everything about this movie is, I hate to use the word magical, but it really is.
I think it's the perfect way to describe it. Yeah, this movie's wonderful, beautiful to watch. Like, yeah, this is an excellent pick. I say with gritted teeth. It's good. Great pick.
Yeah, I thought this was a good movie. I liked Pan's Labyrinth. It's pretty fun.
Look, he's trying to downplay it.
I'm not downplaying anything. I thought it was good. That's an
no
endorsement.
Mission Impossible 3, but yeah, it's fine.
It's great. Yeah.
Not Tokyo Drift. That's what all I'm saying.
Yeah, this is true. It's about where I thought it was going to go. I thought it was going to be a pretty early pick, so I'm not surprised by this. Huh. Kevin.
Yeah, it's back to me, huh? I'm gonna show my cards a little bit and reveal that I'm maybe having a less competitive draft and a little bit more of a fun one. I'm gonna pick a thematic companion film maybe to Pan's Labyrinth. In the comedy category, I'll take Jackass #2.
God damn, nice.
That's a great pick. Dang it.
Yes.
Wow. I love that movie.
I think it was the best comedy on the board.
Yeah.
I think it's the best Jackass movie. It has, like 10 of their 15 best bits all in one
it really
movie.
does.
It's hilarious. I think these movies are, unironically high art. I think exploring masculine friendship this way is really beautiful, and they're also really funny. And it was my strategy all along to get this. So I'm happy with where I land. I wanted this in The Departed, but I'll take this in Casino Royale in the first 2 rounds.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome. This is a great pick. I had this pulled up. I literally have it pulled up right now on Wiki. So I was like, trying to remember all the bits in this one. I was like, oh yeah, when they dressed up Preston like Phil to get in bed with Abe, like that was this one's so good. I love all the Jackass movies. So this is a wonderful selection in comedy.
This is this is a really, really good pick. And listeners of the
I was
draft
hoping this was number 1 on Ethan's board, was it?
Yeah, well, so it wasn't, but it was like it was secretly like, okay, we're in round 5, maybe I'll draft Jackass 2. Is kind of like where I was at on this.
Okay.
People know, and I am so with you, Kevin, like Jackass Forever, 5-star movie. Like it is just impeccable filmmaking and it is incredible. I mean, I drafted Dick Godzilla in the Movie Monsters draft. I have a great affinity for Jackass. So I'm a little bit mad. And I think this is one of your most savvy moves you've made here on the pod.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
congrats.
you. I'm working hard.
I can tell. I'm really sweating over there. Dang. All right. Well, we're back to Ben. You've got The Departed. But now you have 2 more.
Well, yeah, we gotta take care of this box office before I can't wait 6 more movies for it to come back to me. I gotta do it now. And I'm gonna do one that I'm kind of surprised qualifies, but I'm happy to see it here. And I'm gonna take The Devil Wears Prada.
Hell yeah.
That's my other pick.
I love this movie. Obviously you fit in other categories as well, but this was out of what I have available. Like this is probably the thing I would rewatch first is The Devil Wears Prada. So, and we may have talked about a potential Meryl, draft coming up. So I think that would definitely be here. And number 1 or on my crush more is Anne Hathaway. So this movie is just like it's made for me. I love it. I think this is perfect.
Number 1. You want to know something? I have withheld watching this film until we get closer to the Meryl Streep draft, so I've never seen The Devil Wears Prada.
Oh, okay.
And shameful.
Interesting.
Thanks. Yeah, you should publicly shame me right now. Take me to the square. Take me to the public square. I don't feel good about that information either.
I'm very sad for you right now.
Yeah. I think Kevin's rethinking wanting to be third chair. He's like, I don't know if I want to.
Well, I've seen I've probably seen this movie. I mean, I gotta think for a second, but I've probably seen this movie more than any other movie in this year.
Mm.
If I had to guess, I mean, growing up, this is like a staple for me. I love the Devil Wears Prada. I wanted to draft it in a different category, but now you've stolen it in box office. So I applaud you for that. That's a good pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man, Anne Hathaway, unbelievable. Happy for you.
So good. Thank you. Let's see here. Okay.
We should make a new rule where if you draft two movies that begin with the same word, you only can draft movies with that word from now on.
Oh, okay.
Your whole
Perfect.
team has to start with the. I'm literally working hard to set you up for the Da Vinci Code. That's all I'm trying to do here.
I appreciate it. What do I want to do here? I think, man, there's so many. I feel like comedy is like the biggest category here. Like there's so many to pick from.
Interesting.
In my opinion, but for me, nothing hit me harder than Borat. So I'm going to go with Borat in comedy. I cried in the theater watching this for the first time. Like this is definitely just like up my alley, and I didn't know that it was at the time. I didn't know this existed. I at that point hadn't watched the Ali G show, so I was like not familiar with this character at all. But I rewatched this, and actually some of it like still kind of holds up in a nice way. You know, it's just like it was kind of surprised, you know, when we see the decent side of these people. You know, it's like, yeah, consent is important. Yeah, like all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, that's a good message that they're giving in here that I think gets lost amongst all the comedy. But also it's just like hilarious about two naked guys running through this hotel convention with a rubber fist. You know, it's just like it's got layers, you know. So yeah, to me this was like the comedy of 2006, so I'm gonna take that.
It really truly was. I will never forget watching this in high school, and me and all my friends could not stop doing the Borat voice walking out of the theater. Like everything out of our mouths was just a line from the movie, and still to this day I can like quote full scenes. You know, like I just remember like when he goes up to the guys on the street, and they're like, "You a long way from home," and he's like, "How do you say? How do you do?" He's like, "What's up with it? What's up with it?
What's up with it?" Yeah,
it's so funny.
Like even to this day, can you hear anybody reference their wife and not hear that? You know what I mean? Like it's 20 years old, and it's still just like, oh, you got to do the voice though if you're gonna say my wife. Like
my wife.
It's held up, I think, on some aspects. So yeah, Borat.
I knew you were going to take this, but there was a part of me hoping that you would kind of hold off and, you know, gift, I guess, me with this movie, but it's okay.
I'm sorry. I was hoping the same with Mission Impossible 3, but here we are.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't do a trade. I'll just put it that way. I don't feel strongly enough. Borat's legendary. It's good stuff. I love Borat. Man, things are slimming fast. Kevin.
Yeah.
Category guru.
This is the pick that I saw on Ben's letterbox that made me confident I could get Jackass 2, because I knew he would draft Borat, and I was like, you have cleared the path for me to take Jackass early. Yeah, I don't know that. You know, I think a lot of the heavy hitters are off the board in terms of the fan vote, and so I'm gonna just steer clear of the fan vote. I'm gonna take something that was like, I guess, kind of more divisive, but the only other 5-star movie I have remaining on the board, which is in the action category.
Don't do it.
I'll be taking a Michael Mann masterpiece, Miami Vice.
Fuck you. Nice. That's so dumb.
Just a no-brainer, kind of, you know. I said Children of Men was my favorite movie here. The only movie that really is in contention for that title is Miami Vice, I think. And it's still here for me in round 3, so I feel like I have to go with that.
Can I get an encore? Do you want more?
This was one of those movies when we were in the medical study that the DVD came out while we were in there, and someone's girlfriend brought it to us. We watched it 3 times in a row. Like this movie is, I love awesome. Miami Vice. I think this is before I really kind of clocked who Michael Mann was and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't have that associated with it. I just knew that I really enjoyed this like reimagining of this like 80s TV show, or 90s.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, it was 80s, right? Yeah. So yeah, this is a great pick. I love it.
Thanks.
I got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan. I
Oh no.
have not given it a rewatch since the latest reappraisal, we'll say. But I'm looking forward to the day because
Yeah.
Michael Mann is a truly great filmmaker, and this was a disappointment for me when it initially came out. So I'm wondering how it will hold up for me if I watch it through 2025 eyes, and many years on me since then. Lots of years of maturity, let's just say.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't want to show Michael Mann bias, but yeah, I do think it's one of his like great movies. I mean, he's one of my favorite directors, so I'm going to defend it. But it is, I get it. I mean, like I said, it's a divisive movie, but I think recently a lot of people have reclaimed it, and it's one of his best.
Mojitos.
Go fast boats, mojitos. Yeah,
exactly.
Pretty good stuff. Yeah, this movie rocks. I love Miami Vice. I was like really holding out hope that this would fall. So, and I was genuinely the most nervous about you taking it, Kevin. This seemed like a movie that you would take. So, unfortunate that has happened. Are you, how are we on the, we speak of like the reclamation of Miami Vice, and Michael Mann, I feel like kind of does get a lot of these reclaiming eras happening with his films. Black Hat, good, bad? Where we at?
Let's focus on Miami Vice for another year, okay? I'm just saying.
As somebody, I have not yet watched Black Hat, but I am very confident based on who I am and what I have heard that I will watch Black Hat and slap a big 5 stars on that bad boy. So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see when I get there. But.
It was Hemsworth it.
There it is.
There you go. You've got your Letterboxd review locked up, already done. Yeah, Black Hat. Maybe I'll have to start my own personal reclamation of that. I'm not sure if now is the time, like you said, Matt. Maybe we wait a little bit, but it's out there. It will happen, I'm sure. Okay, Michael Mann off the board. Action horror, first pick in the action horror category. Also, floodgates have opened. You're really doing the first picks here. I think you were the first pick in all of your categories, so that's interesting. Matt, your turn.
So I'm going to get the box office one out of the way because I'm getting really nervous about that one in particular. So I'm going to go for a movie that in 2006, I just liked and I didn't love it. And I didn't even love it years later. And it wasn't until fairly recently, and I think the world kind of agrees with me in this regard, because I can't go a week without hopping on social media and seeing somebody praise the visual effects of this movie in some way, or the spectacle of this movie, and saying how awesome it still holds up, and just how good we had it back then, that we didn't know that Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest is a fucking banger of a movie, especially compared to a lot of the blockbuster slop that we get today.
Yeah.
I really wanted to rewatch this one in preparation for this draft. I will go back and watch this movie.
It is mind-blowing how great of a character Davy Jones is. Like, true, like not just the visual effects, but like Bill Nighy's performance is so freaking committed and so good. Like, everyone talks about Jeffrey Rush in the first one and how iconic he is as Barbossa. Oh yeah, that's another thing too. Post credits cameo, holy shit moment before social media could possibly ever ruin it for you.
Oh, yeah.
In the movie theater, that was an unbelievable moment. Like,
yes,
you just can't get that nowadays.
Dang it. You guys are really just cracking them off here.
Phenomenal pick. I think there was a small number of movies that could have gotten drafted in that that was the last one remaining.
This is solid. I didn't get to revisit this one. There's only so much time, to watch these movies, and someone had to watch Tokyo Drift, so I didn't get to rewatch this one, but I think it's a solid pick.
Yeah, it's a really good pick. Well, how are we feeling about the remake of the reboot of Pirates, right? What do we got? We got Margot Robbie and who? I can't remember.
Yeah, let's talk about something else.
Yeah. Is this
Do you want us to vamp more for your next pick?
You want to keep the conversation moving? Huh.
This is what I'm saying though. Like these movies got watered down. The third one was obviously not that great.
watered?
Yeah. And then all the other sequels that came after that, then after Gore Verbinski left, I mean, they just weren't good either. And it's like I can't imagine them coming together now and making another one that could even live up to those first two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, man, that you really took it out of a lot of categories. That was sitting. I mean, that was box office. That was Oscar nom. That was action. You really knocked it down. I wasn't ready for that. Oh no. All right, so that's put me in a real pickle. I feel like I got to do Oscar nom. Okay, wait. Ben, you have Oscar nom. Matt, you've got yours. Oh, jury's still out on you, Kevin. Makes me a little nervous.
I've got plans.
Okay. Really, you have plans?
Got ideas.
Okay, I'm gonna be an Oscar nom. Let me just. I'm gonna be taking a movie that got nominated for Best Picture, and I will be taking Little Miss Sunshine.
Nice.
Good pick.
I feel like this is good.
Very good choice.
I remember watching this movie a few years ago, really liking it, and I feel like the consensus is like pretty positive on Little Miss Sunshine, especially if you're a girl dad. Like, I'm a girl dad, so I get the vibes of like going to those lengths to make your daughter happy and follow her passions and dreams. And yeah, there's really good stuff in this movie. I like this movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff. Like the cast, this cast is crazy. Alan Arkin's so good in this.
Alan Arkin, shout out, incredible stuff.
Toni Collette, Carell, Paul Dano. I think this is like most of our first exposure to Paul Dano. So that whole scene where he like learns about the colorblind stuff, like I just that sits with me every time I think about this film. So this is a really good pick, and I mean that sincerely, Ethan.
Do you? Because that sounded not very sincere.
This is a good pick.
No Casino Royale style here.
We need to criticize at least one Ethan pick. I think is the rule.
This isn't the one. Yeah, okay. Little Miss Sunshine and Oscar nom. I feel pretty good about that. So I've got Oscar nom. Let me green that category here. The next evolution of this video pod, now that we're a video pod, will be to clue people into the madness that is my sheets. It is unintelligible color coding, and so that is why it takes me so long sometimes. I feel really good about action horror. I don't think I need to go there. I've got box office. I've got a wild card. In comedy, I'm struck between a movie that I remember being quite possibly the funniest thing when I was 12 years old, or a movie that's actually probably good. So I don't know what to
Wendy
do.
Wu, Homecoming Warrior?
I remember seeing commercials for that all the time. Never watched it. Shoot.
You're missing out.
Yeah, you're a big Wendy Wu stan? Big
You
Wendy
have no
Wu
idea.
wife?
You have no idea.
I'm just trying to see real quick where we lie on the letterbox scale. Where are the people? I will be taking, in comedy, Tenacious D in The Pick of Destiny.
Ooh.
I like that they battle Satan, and I think that's very cool. And I think Jack Black is funny.
Yeah.
Maybe used to be funny might be the right word. I don't know. We're recording this a few weeks before a Minecraft movie comes out. Matt, have you seen a Minecraft movie yet? Is that what you screened?
Nah, man, not tonight.
Okay. Not looking ideal, I gotta be honest, and I'm not stoked for his Anaconda reboot. That just sounds atrocious. But Tim Robbins in this movie, Amy Poehler, Ben Stiller, Dave Grohl, Fred Armisen, pretty good. So I'm gonna be taking that in comedy. No support. I appreciate that, guys. Thanks. That means a lot.
Listen, this wasn't even on my list. It wasn't even on my radar.
I'm telling you, Ben, you were like, comedy's so big this year. I didn't feel that way.
Interesting. I'm surprised. Like it's a comedy. It's humorous. I just like
I
wouldn't have taken it at this point. But this is part of the Ethan method. You know what I mean?
Part of the magic.
Procrastination, confidence, and regret. The old
This
PCR.
is how we do it. The old PCI.
Yeah.
Can I tell you? Well, okay, I better not. Matt, you haven't drafted comedy yet, and I guess you could draft it. I'll come back to it, what I was going to pick. And I want to know if that would have been a better pick.
Yes.
So that is the pickle that I find myself in right now. Because if I don't choose comedy now, I feel like I'm going to regret it later.
See?
Because I already find myself in a situation where there's not that many great ones to choose from. Like I have two, and I'm doing a final check between those two right now as we speak to just make sure I don't do something stupid here. The
struggle is real for comedy.
Yeah, this is really tough for me. This is definitely the hardest situation I found myself in this draft so far. Okay.
I'm just going to say, Matt, I'll just vamp for you for a second. I love seeing other people struggle as much as I do. It just brings me great joy to know that I'm not the only one having problems.
It is.
We're a team, we're in this together.
Because you know what it is too. I'm also looking at certain films where I'm like, I find that funny, but it's not a comedy.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Like you end up doing that thing where you're like, it's funny to me.
There's one here. There's like one great movie in the comedy category that I don't know if people would be okay with it being drafted in the comedy category, but I feel like it's very much a comedy. I don't know. I'll see if it gets mentioned.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna double check one last film. And if this film has a higher, because you know what, the letterbox rating thing, I didn't think to do that. That's
it's
a good,
that's a good strategy.
Well,
after all, we do have votes.
As well, is that I was thinking because Ben was saying that the comedy category is stacked, and I feel like from my perspective, and maybe there's some that I'm missing, but from my perspective, it's a lot of movies that like I thought were funny a long time ago, and I feel like I would not enjoy now, and so I wonder if the letterbox rating, like they've aged poorly, and the letterbox rating is probably a better indicator of how people feel about them. Now, like these are, I'm not going to name them, but there's like a number here where I was like 10 years ago, I thought these were the funniest movies ever. And now I wouldn't even think to draft them. So,
All right. Screw it. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do it because if I don't do it, I feel like I'm going to regret it when someone else takes it. And then I am left to literally nothing for this category. So, Will Ferrell, Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
You get the pick for comedy from me.
Movie's bad. It's a bad movie. That's why
it's not a bad movie.
I don't think it is a bad movie. It's definitely not my favorite comedy of the year, but like, listen, would I prefer to Adam McKay go back to making movies like this? There's that, I listen, I thought this movie was funny at the time of its release. I still think it's funny today. I love John C. Reilly in this mode as well. Great supporting performances as far as the comedy genre is concerned here, and also too, who can ever forget when you guys remember like when the trailer for this came out and he was running around he's on fire and he's like, help me Tom Cruise, use your witchcraft.
Yeah
that was still like the funniest thing. I remember like all my friends just like laughing our asses about that. It was so good.
I think this is a solid pick. Like another one that sticks with me from this movie is when he's calling Ricky to find out like how to play the stereo and the TV at the same time. It's like, why are you trying to listen to music and TV at the same time? It's like, because I like to party. Like I think about that a lot, like way more than I should. So I think this is a solid pick in the comedy. Like I was surprised it hadn't gotten picked yet. So I think this works.
I'm not like the biggest Adam McKay fan. In fact, I'm maybe just an Adam McKay hater, but I think this is the closest thing he could do to making a movie that I like. Like I think it's genuinely pretty funny. And it was in that area, I thought, of like movies that I haven't watched in a long time that might have aged badly, but surely it's not like as bad as The Benchwarmers or some of the other options. I think it's a good pick.
Nice. It's a lot of verbal confirmation. I bet it feels good, Matt. I wouldn't know. Wow. Okay, Kevin,
Oh, it's back to me. Okay.
back to you. We're just ripping through this draft. Holy cow!
Yeah, we are a little bit. I also, yeah, I've kind of abandoned the whole winning strategy, I think, and
I feel like you do that every
it's
pod,
very
though. I feel like you come to win,
no,
and
but
then you
I've
get 2 picks in, and you're like, well, I'll just
well,
draft.
that's what I did the first couple times I appeared, and then my most recent appearances, I've won, I think, back to back times now. I feel like I'm on a bit of a, I guess you can't call it a streak. It's only 2 wins, but it's still something, you know. And now it's
Yeah.
like I might as well have fun again because I didn't get The Departed. I'm gonna go Oscar nominee. I'm gonna take one of my favorite movies here. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Little Children, an Oscar nominee.
Nice.
One of the best
Great
movies of
performances.
this year.
Mhm.
Yeah, great performances, gorgeous movie. This is like a movie that has largely inspired a lot of my writing and just like the type of stuff that I care about more recently because as somebody who grew up in middle class white suburbia, it is like one of my favorite depictions of that in a film. It's something that I reference often, and it's great.
I got to see this movie. It looks good.
You
I
should
just
watch
read
it.
it. Yeah, I just read the logline.
You should watch it. It's very good. I mean, again, I don't want to reiterate the same thing, but like there are very few movies I think that capture like how people act in American suburbia the way that this movie does, and the things that matter to people living in communities like this. I think it's a fascinating movie. It's also got one of the great sex scenes in a movie for those who care. Patrick
I
Wilson's
care
bare
deeply.
ass.
Wow, I'm sold.
If you've never seen this before, like the performances in this truly will blow your mind. Did you
They're
see
like
Tar?
unbelievable. Yeah, I love
Okay,
Tar.
Yeah.
Did I see Tar, Matt?
I'm
Yeah.
just asking because
Tar is
this
one of
is
the greats.
Well, this
Yeah.
is the same filmmaker.
Same director.
I know.
Top Gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he only has
I did.
3 feature films or 4, 3 or 4. I think it's
Yeah, he
I think it's
did
just 3.
in the bedroom, this and Tar.
and Tar. Yeah.
Wow. I got to get on that. Okay. Real Kevin coded pick. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Love having you on the show. It's fun.
And no problem.
Okay.
Happy to be here.
Ben, how are you? We're back to you.
I'm doing okay. I'm just doing a little research here.
Have you had enough time to think, to finalize?
I think so. And I think in action horror, I would like to take the Wachowskis' follow-up to the Matrix trilogy and do V for Vendetta.
Oh,
I haven't seen this in a while, but I do remember loving it. Great performances from both Hugo Weaving and Natalie Portman. I don't know. Like, I really don't know what to say about it because it's been a while. I just remember really enjoying this film, and I know it wasn't directed by them, but I think you could hear their voices in the script.
Yeah.
It was definitely a Wachowski's script. So I really enjoyed this film. I need to revisit it, but I was glad it was still here, still available. This is, I think what I want to go with for action horror.
Yeah.
People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people.
Yeah, it seems like pretty good for the times we're in. Like a nice message, you know? So,
yeah. Seems timely. That's good.
I think Hugo Weaving gives one of the all-time great, like, vocal-only performances in that movie.
How difficult to do that, too. Like,
Yeah.
I remember watching this movie when I was far too young, and I haven't seen it since then. And I was like, oh my God, that mask. Kind of scary.
I'll
That's
never
my take on
forget
V for Vendetta.
there were so many badass moments in that movie. Like that moment when he tells him after like they're shooting him and he's like, "Why won't you die?" And he goes, "Because, Mr. Creedy, behind this mask is an idea, and ideas are bulletproof." I was like, "Oh my God, that goes so hard."
It really does. It's so good.
Yeah, this movie is like dear to my heart. I love this movie so much. I was actually hoping, because Letterboxd has it listed at a different year, I was hoping I could just sneak this into the end of the draft because I thought nobody would see that it came out this year if you were using Letterboxd. But
yeah. And did you see what festival it was in 2005?
Oh yeah, it's like it's like in some guy's backyard.
So
What's it called?
funny.
Yeah, the numb butt-a-thon or something like that.
The
Yeah,
That's
Austin,
hilarious.
Austin Butt Numathon.
Yeah, yeah.
What a crazy place to debut.
I know, so wild. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with drama right now. I'll leave that wild card for last. And I might be doubling up on Clive Owen, but if there's a Denzel and a Spike Lee on the board,
Well done.
Damn
I
it.
feel like I have to take it. This is one I really need to revisit, but like, Jodie Foster, like I remember really enjoying this, and then like the obviously like the ending of it just really kind of hits. So I enjoy this movie quite a bit, but it was more just like, oh, there's a Denzel on the board. Like I need to have Denzel on my team if I can. So yeah, I'll take Inside Man and drama.
Yeah, Inside Man fucking rules. It's like part of the reason why Highest to Lowest this year is being looked at as like a very anticipated title with him and
Yeah.
Spike working together again, like kind of in this mode, hopefully.
Mhm.
That film, I remember watching it the year it came out in theaters and really digging it, but it wasn't like top 10 material. It was like just like a movie I really, really, really liked. But
Yeah.
over the years, it's been like one of the most rewatchable movies for me, like from that year, where I could go put it on right now and I will be having a blast. I think it's one of Spike's like best movies he's ever done.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that.
Double Clive, bold move.
Yeah,
Sometimes you got to do it,
This is one of my favorite movies on the board. I was definitely considering picking this.
I was gonna make it my wild card pick. I was like holding out
nice.
hope.
Wow.
I
There you
also think it's the second best Denzel movie on the board, but that's not a popular opinion. maybe.
Interesting.
All right. Two good picks, Ben. Two good picks.
Thank you.
Things are dwindling wildly here.
Mhm.
Kevin, where are you going to go? You going to go for votes? Or you going to go for your heart?
Oh, the going for votes is over, I think. I don't know if I could come back from the hole I've dug myself into. I can't imagine. I mean, Little Children isn't even that niche of a pick, and I still don't think I could win this draft with that on my board. So I might as well just go even deeper. I thinking about the drama category because it's looking rough. A lot of my picks have been taken, or I'm just left to movies that I don't want. But yeah, I'll just go with what I. My heart is telling me Step Up, but I know.
Yeah, why don't you draft that?
The beginning of one of my favorite movie franchises, but I'll take a movie that's better than Step Up and that way less people have seen. I'm gonna take Kelly Reichardt's Old Joy.
Oh, Kelly
Wow.
Reichardt truther. I love this for you.
My favorite working director. This is If I could have her on the board in a draft, then I will do that.
This is a hell of a good passion pick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is one of the first, or maybe I don't know. This is it's probably the second Kelly Reichardt movie I had ever seen, and yeah, it's one of the ones that appeals to me the most as like a personal pick because of the subject matter, both like this the ideas about friendship as time passes, but then also she's just great at using nature in her movies, and that's something that I really appreciate. I love movies that just take place in the woods or the mountains or anywhere in between, and this one does a really good job of that as well.
Nice. I haven't seen this one, but yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah, that's great. It's also really, for people who are interested in checking it out, really short. It's like an hour and 10 minutes or something, hour 15 minutes. It's really short movie.
73 minutes.
Yeah, so you could just like knock it out. I mean, again, Kelly Reichardt's movies are not the most fast paced, so it might not feel like an hour and 10 minutes to everybody, but yeah, it's a quick movie to watch, and it's definitely worth it.
I love this pick. This is awesome. New Kelly Reichardt this year. I know you're pretty jazzed, huh?
My most anticipated movie of the year. It's Kelly Reichardt. It's Josh O'Connor. If we're lucky, it'll be the best movie of the year, but we'll see.
Yeah, if we're lucky. That's exciting stuff. Cool. Good passion pick. That's real. Yeah. I know I said that little children, a little Kevin coded. We've gone full Kevin mode here, which I love.
Yeah, it's like I said, I've given up on winning now.
Okay. Matt, you got to pick.
So this is going to go under action and horror for me. I'm going to save wild card for last.
Nice.
And in this category, I had two that I was debating between. And I, thought to myself, I think this choice not only is going to hopefully get me more votes, but I actually do like it more than the other choice I'm debating. So here it comes. Bong Joon-ho's The Host.
Okay.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Another great pick. Yeah.
That's a fantastic pick.
It's really good pick.
Somehow did not even have this on my list at all. That's amazing.
That movie is, it's funny because now Bong Joon-ho is a household name, but back then, I just will never forget being at a friend's house and him talking up this movie, saying like, because he had like a bootleg copy that had all the Korean writing on it and everything. Like I don't know how the hell he got it, but we watched it. And I just remember how I said I had like a gateway into like international cinema? This was like a follow-up from Pan's Labyrinth for me, where I watched this and I was like, whoa, like what is this? And it took me years, because I wasn't like so filmmaker driven back then. It took me years later to realize that Bong Joon-ho was the guy who did this, because I didn't like know at that time, like Bong Joon-ho, like who's that? What else has he done? No, it's like that wasn't like in my mind. What was more in my mind was this awesome monster movie that was dramatic. It was thrilling. It had everything. And I also remember too, like Quentin Tarantino praising and endorsing this too. So like it felt like a true like discovery for me. And so and of course years later, like watching it now, it still holds up.
Yeah, this is a fantastic pick. Like, I don't know what I was looking at, but it wasn't a good list if it didn't have the host on it, because I did not have it on there. So that's a wonderful pick.
I don't want to play spoiler, but I think the reason why it wasn't on your list is because it might have come out in 2007.
Oh, did it really? No, everything says 2006.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I knew we'd have
I
one
could
of
be
them.
wrong, but I
No,
think
no,
2006 is a festival date and not.
Let's look.
A theatrical
2006.
date.
No, don't do
Premieres. 2006 premieres at New York Film
Only
Festival. Theatrically limited release March 9th, 2007.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
Oh, no.
Did we
I
just
was
start praising the host for
Wow.
I didn't want to stop you praising it, because I also would praise it. But then I was looking at my list and I was like, I remembered removing the host from my list, and I was like, why did I do that? And then I realized it was
so pissy at you right now, Kevin. You know what? I always consider it a 2006 movie because, but I guess you're right. If it got a theatrical release in the US in 2007, then it is 2007. There's nothing I can do about that. So, okay. All right. Back to the drawing board.
Wow.
I didn't want to be the guy to do
it,
but Ben said something about it not being on the list, and I was like, gotta say something.
No, you were right to do it. It just, oh, fuck me. All right.
That was really fun. That was fun. I had a great time listening to all of that, and then just the swoop with the leg at the end.
Because like you can't
time.
stop a guy from talking highly about Bong Joon-ho, who is one of my other favorite directors. Like I'm never gonna be like, don't praise the host. Like it's like why would I cut him off in the middle of that?
No. It's totally fine. I understand. Okay. So I now need to.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do now. I don't know what to do. Shit. All right.
We're really in the dumps here. I feel like we're in the dumps for these last couple.
I feel like there's some great picks left on the board.
Really?
There really truly are.
Some of the ones that I'm referencing maybe are not like we're not in unison on. Like I said, I referenced before that there was a better Denzel movie, and I'm like, I don't know if that's super high on everybody else's board, but stuff like that is available.
Fuck. Oh man, this is
Really
You guys
threw you
got
into
me.
a panic. Yeah, this is
No,
this is
you
wild.
got under my skin with this one. This is
Yeah,
hurting me a little
Crank
bit.
is still there, you know? It's
Yeah, I was
Crank
gonna
is out.
say we got a lot of bangers on the board.
You're gonna pick me, Matt. That's my best Jason Statham.
That's perfect.
Thank
That
you.
was
That was
good.
pretty good, actually. Yeah, that was good.
Fuck. Give me a minute. I gotta like.
Yeah.
Oh, we could vamp.
Yeah.
No, because the host was like number one for horror for me here before I removed it. But the thing is, like, the way I was looking at this category is that action is so stacked that I wasn't even really thinking that much about the horror aspect of it because they're kind of combined here.
Yeah. So the problem I'm running into here is that while the action is stacked,
A lot
they're
of them
just-
have been taken as well.
no, it's not even
Mhm.
that. It's just like a lot of movies that I don't particularly care for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough.
But even just naming like the ones that have been like V for Vendetta's already been picked, Inside Man's been picked, Miami
Yeah.
Vice,
Yeah.
you know, Children of Men would count here, The Departed would count here,
All right,
Casino Royale, but they're
all
all
right.
like,
I think I
know.
know what I'm gonna. I think I know what I'm gonna do.
Oh,
I have my compromise
I
pick.
don't know either.
Okay.
All right, take the host off the board, Ethan, because I can't even
Okay.
stand to look at it right now.
Off the dock. Yeah, I've left it on the dock this whole time just to torture
Oh
you.
no, you're just rubbing it in.
I'm leaning into war.
Oh,
and
interesting.
I'm going with Letters from Iwo
From
Jima.
Jima.
Okay.
Great pick.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a good
Ooh.
pick.
Yes, the better of the two Clint Eastwood directed war films that year.
Yeah.
This is a good movie. I had to watch this movie for my class a couple of years ago, and the class was, obviously like war films, and this is like the first movie we watched. So
Wow.
I don't know what that means to
Really?
you or to
A
me,
class
but
on
yeah,
war films.
yeah, it was intense.
I just
We had to watch The Good
remember-
German also from
I-
this year.
I just
Oh,
remember
wow.
Flags of Our Fathers having so much Oscar buzz and being touted as like such a huge contender. And then when it came out, it was kind of met with a eh. And then this one came out not too long after that. And it was like, this is the one that everyone should be talking about,
Yeah.
And it was leaps
Didn't-
and bounds better.
Didn't Flags
than
of Our
Flags
Fathers
of
still
Our Fathers.
get, what was it, cinematography or editing or something? I feel like it still
I
got
think it got like a
a
sound
Oscar
nomination
nom.
or something.
Yeah.
Let me see. It got
Oh,
Flags of Our Fathers. Here we go. Wait, did it not get anything?
No, I think it.
Oh no, it did.
I
It got
remember,
sound
yeah.
mixing and sound editing.
There you go.
What's funny is that Letters from Iwo Jima was nominated for sound editing and won that category against Flags of Our Fathers.
Oh,
Wow.
interesting.
It was.
Yeah, but
Was it also nominated for Best Picture?
it was picture,
Yeah.
director, original screenplay, and it won for sound.
Interesting.
Oh man. Well, I was just gonna let you guys keep going because I'm not feeling good about what my two picks are gonna be, and I'm every second that goes on, I feel worse about them.
See, I love that I saved the wild card for last because it just frees me up to be able to pick then whatever the fuck I want, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and I'm okay with that because I have a lot left on the board that I could choose for that I would feel very comfortable with.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Man. I mean, I did mention at the top of this draft how underprepared I was. Kevin, I did text you and I was like, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I'm the most underprepared I've ever been. It's really shining right now. And I'm really, as they say, the lights are bright right now because I'm stumbling. I'm having a hard time. After that Tenacious D pick, I feel like I'm really maybe hobbling down the road here. Not good.
But I thought earlier you said you had action horror locked up. You knew what you were
Oh, I
doing.
do. I'm not worried about that. No, I've got
Oh,
I got action horror locked. It's wild card. I'm running out of movies. I
Gotcha.
got to be honest with you guys. I'm running slim on what my choices are. And I'm not a huge proponent of drafting movies that I haven't seen, but I'm afraid I might have to do such a crime.
for wild card.
Please
Yeah.
no.
I think I do. I think I do. I mean,
If you're gonna do that, let us pick for you.
never. I will not allow that to happen.
we can't let you continue to dig your own grave here, Ethan.
Yeah.
I
Let us help.
have becoming
I think
very
something
good at digging
good.
my own grave. It's fun. It's an activity I enjoy, and I just come back
Okay.
for more every time. So I was going to be in I'll just say in Wildcard, I was going to be taking The Fall because Letterboxd listed as 2006. It did not come out in the US theatrically until 2008. What the fuck is that, Letterboxd? Get like I love you, but let's get it together and not put the theatrical Canadian release based on the fact that I live in the US. So that really ruined me because I thought I had my two kind of locked up right now, and I don't. So action horror I do have locked up, and you guys are not going to be thrilled. And I'm not sure who really will be thrilled about this other than me and the real fucking sickos out there. In action horror.
You really gonna do it?
I'm gonna fucking do it. Yeah.
All right.
Oh God.
But we ride for Jigsaw. I'm gonna be taking Saw 3 in action horror. The angel wings, the vat of acid. There's good shit in this movie. It's not very good, but hey, there's good shit in here.
Listen, Ethan, if you were going to take the third film in a horror franchise, Final Destination 3 was right there. And the new one's about to come out.
Haven't seen
I'm
it.
gonna give something to Saw 3 here. And I'll just say this. I remember watching this in a theater, and I remember being shocked when he slit his throat at the end of the movie, and the movie ended with the shot of him dead on the gurney and everything. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy shit, they actually killed him. Like that was that was actually probably one of the better Saw twists at the end. I thought was the whole thing about him and his daughter and like all this stuff. And, it forced him to kill him then at the end. Pretty clever shit. Like back when Saw wasn't yet a parody of itself.
I Saw 11 was my third most anticipated movie of 2025 until they just bungled it and they're having all kinds of problems now. I legitimately, I think Saw is terrible, but it's also like some of the most fun I have whenever I watch movies. I love the Saw franchise. I hope they get it ironed out. Saw 3 kind of the first movie, if I remember correctly, like in the narrative of Saw, where things start to kind of veer away from Jigsaw a little bit and things get a little bit like dicey in terms of like, oh no, he broke his own rules and he like welded the door shut and he's not doing this for like people to get out. He's doing it to actually kill people. Fun stuff. Yeah. Just walking through an abandoned meatpacking plant. That's good shit. Okay. It's gotta do improvised brain surgery. Guys, Saw 3 rocks. All right. So that's that. I've taken Saw 3 in action horror. What do I do, guys?
Walk us through. What are you thinking?
I'm loving the passion right now. I think you should go with a hard pick,
Yeah.
I mean, Matt, I did just take Saw 3. I'm done. I'm cooked.
But I'm loving the enthusiasm. I kind of want to keep this train going. Like you're giddy right now.
I'm so cooked. I mean, I literally don't know. Kevin, can I ask you a question specifically?
Sure.
You mentioned that if I were to potentially draft a movie that I had not seen, that I should just let you guys pick a movie for me instead. Is there a movie that you think should be drafted here?
There are a number of movies, and I'm going to be sad when I can't draft them all with my last pick coming up.
Okay. Well, that doesn't help me at all. Doesn't make me feel any better.
But don't you only have wild card left?
I do. I mean, I could pick anything.
I mean, surely there's a movie you've seen.
Maybe
I don't know if there is.
Maybe if you chose to fight in the shade, that might.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, God damn it. You don't get that reference? Are you serious?
I'm literally looking at my 2006 ranked. There's 2 movies on here that have not been taken that I don't want to take. That I have seen. I haven't seen anything else. That's why I said I think I'm going to have to pick something I haven't seen.
How do you feel about pets on planes? Specifically, if they
generally pro, but then it's just weird territory. Like I don't want to pick a movie I haven't seen. That feels wrong.
Okay, yeah.
Do you have? I don't want to give away like my best picks, but
I was gonna say, why are we helping you?
Yeah, give us some.
I'm not helping you here.
No, come on. I'm going to save them for the honorable mentions. Actually, I want you to struggle a little bit more.
Okay, great, cool. Well, I mean, excuse me, I have already chosen Saw 3, like you mentioned. It's cooked for me. So I guess the only spot that I can really go right now would be to choose the movie that I, in fact, have seen from this year. And I actually need to make sure it came out in 2006. I don't want to be played.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
I think we're in the clear. I don't stand by this pick, but it's better than drafting something I haven't seen. So let it
Correct.
be known that I did I played the integrity card here, and I did not compromise my morals. I'm going to be taking Cars.
Just your taste.
Cars.
Wait, sorry. He said Cars?
Yeah, I got to take Cars.
Okay.
So it's a movie about cars. Not sure if you guys are aware.
You guys want to know a fun fact?
They
When I
talk.
did my when I did a cross country road trip, I spent a night in the town that like Cars is loosely inspired on, and I saw the original Mater and Lightning McQueen there in New Mexico. It's like
I
this,
thought
like,
you were going to say I spent a night in a car. I was like, wow, great.
no, but the whole town. So the whole town is like themed after car. It's on Route 66, like the historic highway, and the whole town, like every hotel there or like motel there is like themed around cars. Like it's just a car town, and there's like almost no people living there. The only place open when we got there was like a Pizza Hut. There's like 20 people living there.
Wow.
And then they just like down the main road, there's just like Lightning McQueen and Mater, but they're beat up and ugly and look like shit.
Oh,
But they're there.
It sounds like you have a great personal connection to Cars, Kevin. I'll trade you Cars for like Miami Vice if you just want to like do a quick swap.
You know, Cars might not even be my favorite animated movie on the board.
Oh, fuck. This was great, guys. This was a blast. What a fun time here on the draft. Okay. Matt,
That was
your
a
last
lie, by
pick.
the way.
I am so glad that I
You
can choose
lied
this
to
for my
me.
wild card
God.
slot because I was worried I wasn't going to have this on the board still. I don't want to build it up. I'll just say it was the best international feature winner of that year at the Oscars. It is The Lives of Others. And if you have not seen it, which I'm assuming you haven't, because if you had seen it, you would know what a really great movie this is, and you would have chosen it. So I am so happy to be choosing this because it's got so much in it. It's a thriller, it's a drama, it has this incredible like ending it builds up to. It's voyeurism, it's a historical drama. I mean, like, I don't want to reveal much about it. Just know that it beat Pan's Labyrinth for the Oscar that year for international feature. And I remember watching the Oscars and going, huh? What? No, that can't. No, what are you talking about? Like, Pan's Labyrinth is just won like 3 awards. It's nominated for screenplay. Like, I remember being shocked. Then I saw the movie. And then I realized why.
It sounds so interesting. I haven't seen it. I hadn't heard of it. So
It's
the list.
I'm telling you, like, this is the kind of thing that if this came out today, this would be winning screenplay. It would be up for Best Picture. It'd be nominated for director. It's a truly, truly great film.
A debut as well, right?
Filmmaking debut?
Yeah, I think it's a directorial debut. I could be wrong, but
yeah, it was. Holy shit, I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Don't look at what he did after that. It's not great. It's a movie called The Tourist.
Right.
But then he did another movie a couple years after that called Never Look Away, which was a little bit better. So
yeah, this was high. I haven't seen it, but this was like when I put together my watch list for this draft, this was very high on my watch list. It's like one of the last movies that I didn't get a chance to see.
I'm not kidding when I tell you this. If you have time, like when this is over and it's like streaming or something, run to go see it. Like, trust me, you will not regret it.
I'd wanted to watch it for a while before we even planned on doing this draft, and I just haven't gotten around to it. But yeah, I'll definitely check it out soon.
Seems like a better pick than Cars. So I'm happy for you.
Well.
I truly did not think it would still be on the board at this point. I really thought I would have to like dig deep for something that I would like. I'm looking at my list, and other than Talladega Nights, like, I'm pretty fucking proud. And even Talladega Nights, I'm like, you know what? That's still pretty funny. I get a good laugh out of it.
Yeah.
Huh. I was torn about my last pick here, and I was very much leaning towards a movie that I will now push to the honorable mentions. In the spirit of that pick, I'll pick an international film that would be fun to recommend to people and get them to hopefully watch if they're listening. I'm going to pick Exiled, directed by Johnny To.
Wow.
Really
I haven't
cool
seen this in ages.
action movie.
Yeah.
I watched it for the first time in preparation for this draft, and it rocks. It's like kind of probably dipping too much into the male friendship pool here between Jackass and Old Joy, and now this. I thematically, my team is not very diverse. But it is like an action movie about a group of friends getting the gang back together. And there are just like, I was talking to my friend about this, but like when you watch movies like this, it makes you never want to watch a Hollywood action movie again. It's just like the action does not look that good ever. Johnny To is like a genius, and there, multiple times in the movie, but especially this one shootout in the middle of the movie, I'm watching it and I'm like, this is one of the 10 greatest things I've ever seen in any movie. Like, it's unbelievable how good this movie looks and just how good it is in general.
Remember like how everybody was freaking out a couple years ago over like RRR and like, oh
Right.
my gosh, like international cinema just does action so much better. Not saying that this is as crazy as that was, but it's like, it gives you that same feeling of like, man, Hollywood's like really fucking up right now. This is where it's at.
Oh yeah, this is an awesome movie. There was another action movie I want to take, but since you took the lives of others, I was like, might as well get people to watch Exiled. I'm throwing in the towel and picking something cool to recommend to people.
I respect that. I've added it to my watch list. It doesn't look like it's streaming anywhere. Kevin, how'd you watch Exiled?
I think it actually is streaming. It might be. I don't know if it's pretty sure it's on Tubi for free, if I'm not mistaken.
See, I do not have Tubi linked to my Letterboxd.
I'll tell you right now. Would recommend linking Tubi to your Letterboxd because they have a large collection of free movies. And I think it's on there.
Roku, Canopy, all free.
Yeah.
Okay, got to get on that Exiled train. Good suggestion. Good rec.
You will not regret it.
I wish I had seen it before this draft. Maybe I would have taken it, in another life. Ben, you have the final pick of the draft.
I do, and I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. I'm basically between two different films, and I'm going to vamp as I try to figure out which one to pick here. One of them being...
At least they're movies you've seen,
Night at the Museum and
yes, exactly.
And Monster House.
You nailed it. That was the two that I'm trying to figure out what to do. I think what I'm going to go with for my wild card. I love people that love movies in movies, and I want to pick The Holiday.
Oh,
great pick. This is a great pick.
Oh my God.
Very
you know
high
what?
on my board.
End this right now. Don't even put it up to a vote. Ben's gonna fucking win this whole thing. No, I'm serious, Ben. When I look at your picks, it's like the most well-rounded, crowd-pleasing.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
Yeah.
It was between this and Marie Antoinette for me. I really love Marie Antoinette as well.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Talk about reappraisal.
Yeah, exactly. But I think The Holiday just kind of just took the edge a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I love The Holiday, man. I think that movie, I've watched it only for the first time in the last couple of years. Like, it's not something I watched regularly, and it's one of those I had expectations for it based on how much people loved it, and it lived up to it. It's like, oh yeah, this is charming. Jude Law is great. Yeah, of course he is, like he's fantastic. So Jack Black, just the whole cast is great. So yeah, Holiday wildcard.
You got a Nancy Meyers film on your team. Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Got the Sophie vote.
Sophie vote.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've got that Sophie vote locked for sure. Okay, well, we have completed the 2006 movie draft. Successful exercise yet to be determined, but Ben, why don't you start us off? Let's read our teams quickly. And I know Kevin's got some honorable mentions. I got one I want to throw out there, just to try to lighten things up, I guess. Ben, you want to start us off?
Yeah, Oscar nom, I took The Departed. Box office, I took The Devil Wears Prada. In comedy, I took Borat. Action horror, I took V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
Drama, I took Inside Man. And for wild card, I took The Holiday.
I agree with you, Matt. That's a lock. That's no way you're losing this draft, Ben.
I kind of feel I felt that way the minute he chose Inside Man. I was like, fuck, like
We're
it.
done, yeah.
It's over, and then you just went and chose The Holiday too. I was like, man, we're so cooked. Because to me, here's the thing. I'm very proud of my list. I think I have a banger list. Like, no offense to the other two lists here. But when I look at Ben's list to me is the personification of like 2006. Like, to me, like that's like the most well-rounded encapsulation of what not just what 2006, but what the mid 2000s were like specifically for film.
Yeah, thank you. I agree with that.
You weren't really vibing with the third installments of big IP franchises at that time, Matt? Because I have two of them.
Still not.
Okay, Kevin, you want to read us your team?
Yeah, sure. I got Casino Royale in box office. I took Jackass #2 in comedy. I took Miami Vice in action horror. I took Little Children in Oscar nom, Old Joy in drama, and Exiled in my wild card slot.
I think, Kevin, honestly, your last two picks going like as a like personal choices, I think cost you this draft personally. But
Sure.
like your first four picks, I was like, that's pretty good competition here. Cause like Miami Vice just has like all these legions of new followers now.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Casino Royale. Jackass #2 is funny as hell. You guys, like, I think defended it pretty well. And I think it is the best of the franchise. And Little Children is a great, like, well-respected drama pick. It was like the last two where I'm like, these are good picks. No, I'm not saying they're bad picks, but I do question like how many people have actually seen them.
Yeah. No, the vote's not looking in my favor, but that's okay. I'll take the 2 wins that I've got already under my belt.
You might have to create a substantial number of burner accounts in order to hold a contest here. So you have your work cut out for you personally.
I'm willing to cheat if I must.
Yeah. Nothing you're ill prepared for. Matt, you want to read us your team?
Sure. For drama, I have Children of Men, Oscar nom, Pan's Labyrinth. For box office, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. Comedy, Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby. For action horror, Letters from Iwo Jima. And for wild card, The Lives of Others.
Nice.
It's a good team. Yeah, that's a really solid team. Okay, in drama, I took The Prestige. For box office, I took Mission Impossible 3. For Oscar nom, I took Little Miss Sunshine. In comedy, I took Tenacious D and The Pick of Destiny. In action horror, I took Saw 3. And in wild card, I took Cars.
Ethan,
probably a tough.
You know the image of the horse where he's so drawn in the beginning, and then just like your list, I like read it and I'm like, man, so good. Those first 3 choices,
first 3 are bang on. Yeah. It is something I've become accustomed to. I make some pretty good picks and then it just goes down the hole really quickly. Really quickly.
I feel like it's like that for all drafts though, unless if you're able to like really pick something that nobody else is thinking of. It tends to lean that way.
Yeah. Maybe I'll find my Saw heads. The real Kramer heads, the John Kramer heads out here. We'll stick together. Okay, you guys, successful exercise? You guys think 2006 draft? Have we arrived at the answer that 2006 pretty good movie here?
Yeah,
I think so.
I mean,
I think so.
Okay.
There's great movies that didn't get drafted, so
there's a lot of movies that didn't get drafted that I'm actually very surprised about.
Yeah, let's quickly talk about that. Ben, you mentioned Marie Antoinette. That was the movie that I was going to draft, but I have not seen. So I, in good conscience, could not accomplish such a thing. So couldn't do it. Ben, do you have any more honorable mentions? Didn't make the list.
Yeah, the stuff I watched that I didn't pick, obviously Tokyo Drift, Idiocracy, Stranger Than Fiction. And while I do love this movie, I just couldn't, in a good conscience, put Dave Chappelle on my team. But I love Dave Chappelle's Block Party, if anyone has seen that. Really good concert movie. The first real exposure to the Roots being a house band before they were Jimmy Fallon. reunion of the Fugees. Like I think it's really, really good. But I just didn't necessarily want Dave Chappelle on my team. So
fair. It's good. You know, we all have our morals. I appreciate that. Coming from the guy who wants to host a, what was it? It was the Kevin Spacey, the Army Hammer,
Woody Allen
trifecta draft. Yeah. No, that's good. I think we'll get to that.
No problem at all with that draft.
That'll be a good one. Kevin, you had a lot of honorable mentions?
Yeah, I got a good number. I won't name all of them. I mean, Volvera, I think, is the biggest Oscar nom that we missed. The Pedro Almodovar movie. I think Handy, starring great Heath Ledger performance, is a sleeper pick. Scanner Darkly, nobody brought up. Lady in the Water for my M. Night fans. What else do we got? I said Step Up already. There's a couple more. The two big ones that I wanted to talk about that I thought about taking in the wild card category are Deja Vu, which is the Denzel performance.
I knew when you said the other Denzel movie, I was like, he's talking about Deja Vu.
Yeah, Deja Vu is like a masterpiece. I love that movie. But then the other one that I was like so close to drafting that would have gotten me even less of the votes that I'm already going to get is this not made for TV. I guess I should just say released only on TV documentary. Another Spike Lee movie that came out this year. It's called When the Levees Broke, a Requiem in 4 acts. It's a 4-hour Spike Lee documentary.
Wow.
Heavily recommend this to anybody who's a fan of documentaries. It is unbelievably good. It is also devastating. We were talking a little bit about the current political moment. I think this is a also good thing to watch about that, and just see a depiction of an American government failing the people. It rocks. This is a really good documentary, so I'd really recommend that. Spike Lee, he's the guy.
He's the guy. He's the man. Okay, Matt, did you have any honorable mentions?
Oh my God, yeah, totally. I mean, like there were so many that this is why I didn't have any trouble like with this year, because I was like, man, if somebody like chooses this is why I'm also like super happy with my list, because I'm like, if you guys had chosen like a number of those films off the list, I could have gone over to something like, say, United 93. I think is like, it's like one of those films where it's so incredible and so well done, I will never watch it again. Like it's too traumatizing and too upsetting, but like that's how hauntingly real that movie feels. Notes on a Scandal, Judi Dench, Cate Blanchett.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck, that was this year. Dang,
excellent film. Blood Diamond, I could have gone for if if there were no other options. Right. I think Leo is awesome in that movie. The Queen is another one that was also really well done. I know he's not everyone's favorite filmmaker, but Apocalypto is still a very badass film in a number of ways. So yeah, like there was, and then the other magician film, The Illusionist.
Oh yeah,
Illusionist.
No one ever talks about how good The Illusionist is, because it came out the same year as The Prestige, but it's just as good.
Man, I envy all of you that had a lot of honorable mentions. I didn't realize how little I was prepared for this draft. I really don't have any honorable mentions. I got to be honest with you. Like I said, there's a lot of big things that like I just didn't see going into this draft. The one thing for comedy where I was like, I guess maybe I should have taken it. I couldn't have done any worse, I guess, than Tenacious D, is a movie that I watched all the time as a blossoming young man, because, I was in love with Jessica Simpson, and I think a lot of people were. Employee of the Month. It was funny when I was 13. I don't know if it's still funny now, probably not, but, Dane Cook, tough beat. So, yeah, didn't do it. Probably for the best.
Have you seen the other Jack Black comedy of 2006? Did you consider that over Tenacious D?
What was that? What film was that?
Nacho Libre?
Nacho Libre.
No, haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. The one I thought, I knew you were going to take Saw, but I wondered if anyone for action horror was going to take The Descent.
I was this close. I was so close to doing it, but I went with my Oscar pick because obviously it's more my identity for.
Yeah.
The Descent was available for this draft?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I was
like. What the fuck? Are you serious, guys? You didn't tell me about this?
Not only did you not watch enough movies, you didn't even prepare
The Descent. I love The Descent.
That's why I was surprised. I'm like, I know he's like a Saw head, so he's going to take that, but like maybe in wild card.
That's the wild card.
Yeah.
That's the one. Do better, Letterboxd. It says 2005. I blame.
wow.
I don't take any responsibility for this absolute decay in
Here's
real
another
time.
one. I'm very surprised. Like,
God damn it.
genuinely very surprised. I'm like kind of shocked that no one mentioned James Gunn's Sliver.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Oh.
that is this year.
I haven't seen it, but it was on my lengthier watch list for this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sliver is pretty awesome.
Man.
Has
Okay,
anybody
well,
seen Stay Alive?
Stay Alive?
You remember this movie?
I'm trying to remember what that was. Who was in that?
I don't even remember the cast. It's not a very good movie, but it was brought up to me the other day because when I was a kid, I used to this movie used to play on TV all the time, and it gave me the worst nightmares.
Frankie
when I was
Muniz is in
looking
this
at
movie?
I did not
What
see
was
this movie.
Frankie Muniz is in this movie?
Yeah, Frankie Muniz, I think, is in it. Yeah,
Wow.
but it used to give me such bad nightmares, and when I was looking at all the movies for this year, I was just like, "Oh, Stay Alive," and I was reminded of it again. Would
Wow.
not recommend it.
Oh, I
Probably
just added it
not.
to my watch list.
Okay.
Whenever we redo the 2006 draft in 18 months, I'm prepared. Trust me.
You
I
ready
will
to
come,
go
I will
now?
come deep. I'm ready
Yeah.
for round
The
two.
podcast could just be a repeating weekly episode of 2006 draft
Exactly.
until you have a good team.
Yeah, we'll just run it back until I feel confident about it. This was fun, guys. Thank you so much for doing the 2006 movie draft. Big thank you to Kevin and Matt for joining us. Kevin, if people want to find more of you, where can they find you at?
Yeah, I'm everywhere under either K Meeks or K Meeks Film. Is it okay if I do a little fundraising plugging? Is that
Please
cool?
do. I was going to ask you
Cool.
to anyway.
Awesome. If you're listening, my friend Owen and I, my podcast co-host, we are currently raising funds to try to make our debut feature film. We're trying to raise $30,000. We are, as of today, about a third of the way there. In the first 5 days, we've made around $10,000.
Wow.
All you have to do, if you can't donate, just sharing it or following it is more than enough help. But if you can donate, it's really appreciated. You just have to look up 10 Dates, which is the title of the movie, on Seed and Spark. You can find the fundraiser, and helping us out would mean a lot if anybody wants to do that.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Kevin. You guys are cooking up something really fun over there, so I'm really excited to see where that goes. Matt, if people want to find more of you, where can they find you at?
Somebody said to me recently that I should get a t-shirt made that says "You probably follow me on Twitter." I'm actually heavily considering it because I do think it's funny. But in all seriousness, you can find me on all social media at Next Best Picture. I am the owner, editor in chief of nextbestpicture.com, where I also host the Next Best Picture podcast. So if you want to hear us talk about all the latest, not just in award season, but in Hollywood, we interview creatives. We have a lot of fun. It is the pride and joy of my life. So if you want to share in that journey with me and some really talented, countless others, head on over to nextbestpicture.com, where we are always looking for the next best picture Oscar winner.
Highly recommend checking out the work that you guys do over there, Matt. Speaking of Next Best Picture, we do have Gio on next week's episode. So, we've got the back-to-back Next Best Picture, kind of cohort here on the show, which should be pretty fun. Ben, thanks for drafting, and thank you for, I don't know, letting me self-sabotage. You couldn't have just recommended The Descent and being like, hey, Ethan, I see you like this movie. Maybe you should take it.
That's the thing is I remember how much you loved it. It's like, I don't know why he's
Loved
not
it.
taking it, but yeah, here we are.
I'm glad you kept that conversation yourself. Real beneficial.
I can't let Cars go undrafted. Someone needed to take it. So thank you for sacrificing yourself.
Also, too, when I said like fighting in the shade, I was like, how is he not going to understand that that's a 300 reference?
Yeah.
I don't know
Have
what
you
that
seen it?
means. No.
Oh, okay. Well,
Wait, you're trying to tell me that you have not seen Michael Fassbender's abs in 300?
so now,
Well, no, I haven't. And now that I know that Michael Fassbender's abs are there, you've enticed me slightly.
Wait a minute. I'm
coming
so
off
sorry.
of Black Bag.
I'm doing the same thing I did with the host. It came out in 2007 in the US. I'm so sorry.
Oh, did
This
it?
is no
prep for the
good.
I think
2007
it was on my
draft.
list. Oh.
Yeah, 2007 draft. When? We're really, guys, this needs to be happening.
Throw 300 up
Right.
on that 85-inch TV, man. Love it.
that'll be the inaugural film. I'm trying to see quickly before we get out of here where Cars landed in the Pixar draft. Ben, do you recall? Was Cars on the list?
Was it? I wouldn't have played it. I
Oh,
don't
let's
know
see.
if it made
Pixar
the list.
collab.
It's like I wouldn't have
Oh,
picked that shitty movie.
You want to know? Where it
Yeah.
ended up? It ended up at 12 out of 13. You want to know who played it? This guy.
Oh,
Loves
nice.
cars.
Perfect.
Let's
I
go.
love it.
Full circle. We've done it. This exercise is incredibly helpful. Be sure to listen and subscribe to the Movie Draft Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. We're also now on YouTube with video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel over there. New episodes will be released weekly on Tuesdays. We'll see you then.